Welcome to the Clutch Buckets Podcast. My name is Joshua Tyson.
I'm Kyle Spence.
Their profession, our passion, your court. Check ball. Let's get it.
Tyson, let's talk about this. It just happened. What's today's date? It's the 7th,
man. I know you
and
hyped.
the Boston Celtics have just blown out the Cleveland Cavaliers for the first game of the series in the semifinals, 95-120.
Yes, sir.
And we had Jaylen Brown going off in the first and second quarter efficiently. Jason Tatum didn't have a good game.
Who's the real star?
What did you think about that, though? What did you think about that game?
Yo, I mean, Brown set the tone from the get-go. He was like, yo, I'm here. Let's get it. I'm coming at y'all. I'm setting the tone early. But Brown usually is efficient with that, man, especially coming out, giving the energy off the break. Tatum, maybe takes him a little while to get into the flow. But, I mean, y'all were doing y'all thing. D. White went off, man. Y'all got some surprising points off of the bench with Pritchard with 16 points. I don't know how you feel, man. I really want to know your opinion. This is your squad, man. How hyped were you watching it, man? Tell me
super
about that.
hyped. Now, let me be clear. I oftentimes don't watch these games because I have a superstition. I feel as though when I watch the game, then they lose. So I'm trying to break this habit because I feel as though I let them down last season, right?
It's true.
And the season before that because I wasn't there.
You got to be an active participant.
I'm being supportive of my team when the time is needed. So now I'm watching the game. I'm seeing what they're doing out there. Jaylen Brown is playing really well, going downhill against a defensive team that I thought had more defense. Turns out they couldn't stop the post up. They couldn't stop them getting into the paint. And they were getting off the shots that they wanted. Yeah. So even though Jason Tatum didn't have a good game, he was like 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. So he was rough. It wasn't good. But it was the thing about our team is we don't need everyone to play well in order to win. We have Derek White, who had like over 25 points. We had Peyton Pritchard kind of in garbage time for the most part, but he was still out there.
Still efficient.
Jaylen Brown, right. And this is all without Kristaps Porzingis, one of our anchors to the team.
That's the key right there. Yeah.
So I'm thinking that this might very well turn out to be a 4-1 to a sweep. So I'm hoping that it stays that way.
So you feeling good about it?
I'm feeling great about it, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
What did you think?
Man, all around, I'm thinking, man, it might be a sweep. It really might be a sweep because the Cavs, they're relying solely on their starting squad, man. Like their bench hasn't been giving them anything all playoff series long. So if y'all find a way to limit Mitchell, I mean, y'all got a key. Garland has been efficient as we wanted him to be. We really thought this was going to be an all-star tandem, dual star. But he been really struggling lately, man. And even on the assists, he only got 5 this game. Yeah. So I mean, if y'all could find a way, man, to limit Mitchell, I think y'all really have. I mean, because you all have, all around a great cast. When one doesn't show, like Tatum didn't show, Brown can step up. Brown doesn't step up. When Porzingis comes back, he can step up. But then all kudos too. People be sleeping on D. White. That boy is consistently consistent. I mean, he's steadily coming through for y'all. I mean, when y'all can't show up, he's like, all right. But he always takes a back seat to y'all. He's like, here's the rock, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go off. I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing. Okay, y'all need me to step up. Y'all shooting a little.
That ain't no problem.
Okay, I got you. But he's always stellar on defense. You never have to worry.
He and Drew Holiday are really stellar on defense. Yes. And even though Drew Holiday, we don't look for him as an offensive weapon.
No, that's not him.
Derek White gives us that two-way player that we need. Somebody who can play on the ball, who can be weak side help, as well as hit the three. When there were 2 situations, I believe, in the 3rd and 4th quarter where he was getting hounded by Max Strus and other defensive players on their team. And the time is winding down. He decided to take it all the way, step back in the 3-point line, top of the key, knock it down. It was a crazy play because, again, you look to your 2 main players, your superstars, and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to be those players. But Jaylen Brown is showing that he's just as good as they are when it comes to this team ball and making the right play. So
that's why he got paid the way he did.
And I think come next season when it's postseason, we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with Drew and Derek White on the team, it's going to get a little shaky, but we'll
Y'all
figure it
better
out.
keep both of them. Y'all better keep both of them, man.
The
They're a
money is
defensive
looking
tandem.
a little funny right
Y'all
now.
better pay
He
that
might
luxury
have to
tax.
take a.
Man,
That's what
y'all
I'm
better pay
saying.
that. Y'all better pay
Especially if
that.
we win in the chip, right?
Right, right. Run it
Now,
back.
speaking of chip, because it looks like the Celtics might have to go up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, Tyson.
That ain't what they want. That ain't what they want, man.
I ain't gonna lie, it's Tyson.
That ain't what
I
they
was a
want.
little frightened. I saw the defense
Ooh,
that the
ooh,
Timberwolves
it was.
played on the Denver Nuggets,
Mm,
putting them down into a 0-2 hole. Home. They got beat on their floor
they weren't ready
twice
for it.
in altitude,
They weren't ready
106
for
to
it.
80. I don't know what I'm looking at, Tyson. This isn't the same team that I
Yo,
saw
yo.
last year.
Nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw it coming. I mean, straight locked down. You know how like a big brother has their little brother up in the full Nelson? No, you ain't
Hmm.
going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere, bro. Like that, they couldn't do nothing. They
Nothing.
were out there looking like this was their first time in the playoffs. They were looking like rookies out there. Like
Yeah.
they didn't know what to do with the rock, but they picking up full court. They constantly are pressuring them. They
Hmm.
haven't like Jokic hasn't felt this many big bodies around him. You talking about you everybody from Gobert who was not there.
He wasn't even
He
there.
wasn't even there, but they kept steadily throwing bodies at him. From
Hmm.
Kyle Anderson, from to Reed to Cat. But
Cat.
if you notice, they're contesting everything. They're not letting them gently throw the ball over the top so he could catch it. Every time the ball goes at the air, they're swiping at it.
And
I
you
mean,
see
they're
Jaden
picking
McDaniels, Alexander Walker, they're picking them up full
full
court. They're
court,
pressing them
pressing the
full
ball. Man,
court.
come on, Kyle. They ain't ready for that. They not ready. They
Tyson,
got all the energy.
when I saw in the fourth quarter where they're up basically by 30 and they're still pressing them full
Still,
court,
man, what?
I was like, okay,
That's how you know
well,
it's real. That's how you
it's a
know it's real.
problem. It's a
You know it's
problem.
real. But yo, this is nostalgic for me, man.
Yes, it
All
is.
around, just the killer instinct of Ant-Man, and then just
Hmm.
the tenacious defense. I heard what's his name for first take? That's Stephen A. Smith talking about it today. It
Yeah.
reminds him of the 94-95 Bulls. When remember previous season, they got beat by Orlando. When Jordan
Yeah.
was, they got beat by Orlando. They came back with Rodman that
Hmm.
next year.
Yeah.
Went focus on defense. First game was a defensive nightmare for Orlando. I think they beat them like 103 to 80 something. Defensive nightmare, but it was locked down defense from the beginning to the end of the game, man. But that's why it's so nostalgic for me, man. Like I'm telling you, like I'm all in my element, man, because it's got that Bulls feel. It's got that Bulls feel all over again, man. Like
But I
I'm,
think
bruh.
it's good for you. But we see some
Oh
frustration
yeah.
going on the Denver side of things.
Ooh,
Their coach, Malone, getting in the face of the referees early into the was it like
man.
the first or second quarter. We see
About
Jamal Murray throwing stuff on the court like he's a
full blown
fan at a
tantrum.
comedy stand-up
Full
and
blown
he's like booing at the refs, throwing tomatoes. Like he got fined $100,000. Do you think that was an appropriate fine?
Yo, come on now. We all know if that was Draymond, he would have been suspended for the rest of the playoffs. Like, come on, y'all. We throwing stuff on the court.
On the
We
court
throwing
as a
like when
player.
was the last time y'all seen it as a
I'm
player? Now, if it was a fan, they would have got kicked out.
yeah,
They would have been banned for for life,
yeah.
for life. And by the way, let's go back to Coach Malone when he got up in the ref's face. By the way, I think the ref has to be a Nuggets fan because anybody else would have got teed up.
That's
He
home
got
court
so close.
advantage right there.
Like real talk, man. Like he spit the gum. Like he probably still has to clean his face from all the spit that Coach Malone put on his face. Like, come on, man. Like
It's home court.
that's next level, man. Like, what are we doing here, y'all? First, y'all show love to Coach Malone. Then y'all show love to Murray, who was constantly. And by the way, he was trying to hit the ref on that. He was trying to hit the
Mhm.
ref both
Yeah,
times,
yeah.
both times. But
I
100K,
thought he
that's
should have been suspended at least the game, but
minimum,
we know that they want these star players in the game when it comes time for the playoffs for viewership
man.
and numbers. But He definitely should have been suspended at
Automatic,
minimum
at
one game,
minimum.
automatic suspension.
I'm just saying, keep it fair across the lines. I'm player first, right? I
Yeah,
don't want to see him suspended because I want the Timberwolves to beat them
at full
fully
strength.
healthy with their full
Yep.
squad. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like y'all keep it fair. Cause y'all know, y'all got y'all favorites. If there was Draymond, if it was Beverly, if it was anybody, you know what I mean, y'all they'll have been kicked out. But you know,
So are we looking at a sweep?
man, man. I want to say yeah, because I just want to see Ant-Man take it to the next level as usual.
Mm.
I mean, but the efficiency, man, the IQ, the wisdom to make the right play at every angle. I mean, just all around there, beast. But it might be a gentleman sweep. I want to see him take them out completely. But I got to show love to the Nuggets because they did me a service and they took the Lakers out. They did a gentleman sweep.
Yes.
So you know what?
Bravo.
I gotta show a
Bravo.
little
It's
love
a
to them.
they give him a golf
Give
clap.
them right, right. Just one of the little
It
tap,
was
the little
beautiful.
tap.
That's a golf
It
clap.
was, it was.
So I don't think you know what series is not going to be a sweep. Pacers and Knicks,
Oh
because
man,
that was a dog fight from
to the end,
beginning
to
to
the bitter
end.
end, to
Dog,
the
when
bitter
I
end.
saw in the fourth quarter the way that they were playing with
Yeah,
such intensity and force on both sides,
both
Indiana
sides.
Pacers going at the Knicks, Knicks going at the Pacers,
Mm.
Obi Toppin got the audacity to be going through the legs for a dunk in the playoffs. I was
And
like, y'all better
that was
win this
disrespectful.
game.
That was
Y'all better win
disrespectful,
this
by the
game
way.
now.
Mid.
Turns out that the Knicks actually prevail 121 to 117 against the Knicks. What did you see?
I mean, that was probably the Knicks' motivation when he went in between the legs. They're like, "Oh no, we ain't having this. Not on our court. We ain't letting you do that, bro." That's what brought him back. That's that's where they might got that motivation. But I mean, Brunson going off, man. I mean, it was his fourth consecutive playoff game with 40 plus points, man. Like, come on, the guy's an absolute beast. But how long can they
You
keep
lean
this
on
up?
him?
Because all the pressure, the whole burden is on Brunson and Josh
Mhm.
Hart. Josh Hart is doubling his season average right now. And the bench isn't giving them anything. What the bench give them, man, it was tough. The bench has 3 points. The bench had 3 points, man. Like
I gotta at
how
least give it
like
to the Cavs because they had like 15 points
it
off their
was
bench today, which was terrible. But that's 5 times as much as what the
five
Knicks is
times.
getting.
Like, what do you do, man? Like, come on. And the controversial kick at the end that went the Knicks' way. Even the refs were like, y'all, we made a mistake. But I mean, they got it wrong. But Knicks, I mean, they're just some dogs. They dig deep, man. They pull it out every time. But I mean, you gotta
But
give it
my
to them.
concern, Tyson, is that we talked about this 2 episodes ago with Tyrese Halliburton and his
Mhm.
lack of consistency. He did not play well again.
Six points. Six
What
points,
is
bro.
going on with him? I can't say that it's any injury, like lagging injured, situation. It just looks like he's not into the game or not as focused as he should be,
Not being
because that
aggressive.
should not be your third option when you have Nam Hard. Then you know I'm gonna pull up for threes or I'm gonna pull up for the two. You got Neesmith dunking on people, taking them off the dribble, and Tyrese Halliburton is just trying to do these silly pocket passes and just getting picked off left and right. And he's not being efficient as I
Right.
expect him to be. This was somebody who was notable throughout the season to
Hmm.
put up
Hmm.
double digits in points, double digits in assists, and zero turnovers.
Zero,
That's what a true point
zero,
guard looks like.
zero,
But now,
man.
when the time comes that you need to really step it up a notch, he's going the other way. What are you seeing there?
Man, but that's the lights of the spotlight right there, man. That's the
Lights too
lights of the
bright?
playoffs. It's too bright, man. He can't see, and but even coming back from injury, his stats declined all across the board. But you don't even see the aggression. You don't even see the
Mm.
heart going at it. It's like he's second guessing himself at every turn. He's second guessing every pass, every shot. He'll pull a step. He'll off of a screen. He'll go in, he'll step back, nobody will be there, and he'll second guess a shot. It's like, okay, man, what are we going to do? You got to make a decision. At the same time, man, I've been saying this for a while. Why aren't you even using your length? Now
Mm.
you got a lot of length over the Brunsons. You're a little bit taller than Josh Hart. Why aren't you using your length and being aggressive and going to the rack? I
Yeah.
don't understand that part.
I don't understand it either because again, Jalen Brunson is only like 6'1" out there.
Like, what
Part
he
of a
doing?
lion. Let me digress for a moment because I've said it before, I'll say it again. Jalen Brunson do hunt for these fouls, Tyson. It's a concern of mine that he's going to get himself injured more than he already is going further deeper into the playoffs because he's looking for these fouls. But clutch gene, he's born with it.
Yes,
Uh,
all
you,
day.
but here's a sleeper. This is when we talk about clutch, because this is the Clutch Buckets podcast. Sleeper for me
Hmm.
is DiVincenzo. He
Hit that clutch three.
actually, but
Yeah,
he's done
man.
it before. He's
He
done it in the
has
Sixers
consistent. He
series.
did. He
This
definitely did.
man,
Can't sleep
now I
on.
saw when he came down one time in the fourth, things are tight, probably 3 minutes left. He looked off Josh Hart, threw up a shot, threw up a three, missed.
Yeah,
But guess who comes crashing the board? Your boy Josh
yeah.
Hart
Oh,
taking it
as
back,
usual.
going
As
up.
usual.
So DiVincenzo is actually the X factor in this series for
Yeah,
me. I feel as
that's
though
true.
he is somebody who plays really good defense.
Hmm.
He's not like an elite defender, but
Right.
really good defense, but he can hit the shot too.
Hmm.
So I need them to really like grind this out, work together because
Yeah.
I don't want Jalen Brunson to be the only one on the floor falling all over the place trying to make things happen.
Trying to force
So
it, man. I mean, he's trying to will. I gotta respect that all day, man. He's trying to will his team to win. I mean, he's putting it all, literally, mostly all on his shoulders, man. But I mean, with the game too, like his game, it's not the prettiest game out there, man.
no,
And that's why a lot of people don't consider him a star. They don't want to give him the title of superstar, even though he's averaging 40 right now. But his game is just that's not that nice, man. You're not going to see the fluidity of Kyrie. You're not going to see the dunks of Ant-Man. He's rugged with it. Like
yeah,
he's gonna bump you and put up the shot, or he's gonna try and get by you, do a couple moves, put that elbow out and get a quick shot. It's not the prettiest game, but he gets the job done, Kyle. So you
each and
gotta
every
respect
time.
it, man. You gotta
Fourth
respect it.
consecutive 40-point plus game
Yeah,
in the playoffs. Like whatever he's doing, it's working.
it's
And I
working.
haven't seen any defensive scheme that even when they try to pressure him, he knows how to get out of that trap. He
Yes.
knows how to
Yeah.
break through the
Mm-hmm.
double team. And
No
he actually
scared.
has a pretty good passing IQ as well. So I look forward to seeing how this plays out because I think that they're
Yeah.
starting to build some animosity between the players. And I can see that growing and growing
Yeah.
where they're going to be a little bit more, grinding it out. But I
Yeah.
do think that the way that the Pacers played in Madison Square Garden can translate to when they go home. And I can see this possibly going a little bit further. But before we get to those predictions, we got to talk about some news that is out there. Number one,
Uh-oh.
Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year for the fourth time. What
Man, the
did you
boy
think
got it.
about that? Do you
Yo,
think he
I
was well
mean,
deserving?
so I ain't gonna lie, man. I've always been a critic of Rudy Gobert because in the past, in the playoffs, he's been kind of exposed on defense, especially on pick and rolls, people popping in for that mid range or people seeking him out in defense and bringing him out. But I will say, man, he has brought the defensive mentality to the Timberwolves.
Mhm.
That defensive presence, that defensive aura. He's brought that, man, and he's the heart of that defense. And he's implemented that into him. You could see even when he was gone, they still they still ran with that vigor, man. I mean, from beginning to end, from the offensive end to the defensive end, full court, 90 feet, man. They were getting it. So, I mean, well deserved, man. Especially as you can see how it's really brought the team together and how far it's gotten them. I mean, you saw it with the Nuggets, man. So, all kudos to him, man. I gotta
Well,
give it up to Rudy, man. I gotta give it to Rudy.
I will give it up to Rudy again, but this one I feel as though is probably the most deserving of any
Most
of
definitely.
those
Most
prior to
definitely.
this. When he was with the Jazz, I didn't necessarily think that he deserved it. You can average a lot in blocks, but that doesn't mean that you're impacting the game elsewhere.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
becoming the defensive team that they are, they're a juggernaut. They're actually number one
Hmm.
in defensive rating.
Hmm.
They're allowing the league's fewest, and I think 106.5
Yeah.
points per game, just the way that they play. So when you have a presence in the paint as someone like him, that he'd be able to deflect and discourage shooting in the paint the
Yeah.
way that he's been doing it, and then you already have wing players that are ready to guard,
Yeah.
he's been most impactful
He
with the
really has.
Timberwolves.
He really has.
I didn't see it, Tyson. I
I
did
didn't
not
see it at
see this
all.
trade even
Man,
happening where they made the
bruh.
Twin Towers
I
happen
said it was the
again.
worst trade ever. That's what I said,
We
especially
haven't
with
seen
Cat
this since
and
what?
come on.
Ralph Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon with the
It's
Houston
so
Rockets, and
bad,
now they're
man.
bringing it back.
Right? Especially in this day and age with all these shooters. You're like, ain't no way that's gonna work, man. Come on now.
Now, here's a question. Do you think any defensive player was snubbed in the course of this?
Well, snub. I mean, with nah, especially with the way Rudy's team is playing right now, man. And like you said, how impactful he is. No, not at all.
Okay,
You
because
feel some
I
type of
was
way?
thinking that Jared Allen was playing pretty well
He
too.
was. Yeah,
Um, and the Cavs have actually benefited from that.
yeah,
But this is a good segue because who I thought could have, competed or rivaled against Rudy
yeah.
Gobert, Victor Wembanyama, who just received Rookie of the Year award from the
Kudos to
NBA.
him. He did his
Kudos to
thing.
him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We already
He
knew that
was
was coming
really
up.
in a deep battle between him and Chet Holmgren from the
Yeah,
Oklahoma City Thunder.
yeah.
And it turns out that most people that voted decided that Victor was the best option for that.
It was
Do you think that they
unanimous.
chose correctly?
Yeah, it was unanimous. Yeah, they all voted for that dude. But I understand. I understand. He did his thing. I mean, if you are in your rookie year are
Yeah,
considered for defensive player of the year, I
that's
mean, come on.
exactly what I was about to say because
Come on.
I felt as though Victor Wembanyama has the propensity to be not only the rookie of the year, but DPOY.
Yeah,
But I think that the rookie of the year is probably the best award that he can get at this
most definitely.
point
Yeah.
because we can only see his upside. I think it was Nicholas Batum that said earlier that we are probably watching his worst season this year
That
in
he's gonna
his
be a
career,
problem. He's gonna
in
be a
his
problem,
career.
bro.
So we know that the sky is the limit with this dude because
Mercy.
he's doing it on both sides of the court. His arms are long and he knows how to time the shots that are being shot.
Man, it's
He
gonna be a
knows how to block.
problem.
He knows how to steal. It's gonna be a problem
You ain't
all
gonna be able to get
around.
in there, man. Like the Brunsons of this world, man.
Hmm.
He ain't getting in that paint. Like he's not getting there past the free throw line and throwing up any type of shot. That's gonna be tough, man.
Facts.
Like,
Now,
jeez.
disgruntled Chad Holmgren is now going to be facing the Dallas Mavericks tonight. Again, this is what, May 7th.
Oh
So
yeah, he's
tonight
gonna
they're
take
going
it
to
out on
kick
them.
off that
He's gonna take
series.
it out on them. I see him going for 30, at least 30.
Let's get to our predictions. And who do you think is winning tonight against the Mavs and the Thunder?
Well, just because of lack of experience, I say Mavs. Mavs gonna come out controlling the game, man. I think controlling the pace because they're up tempo team. They want to push the
Mhm.
rock, and then just getting affiliated, man. Just getting adjusted to the gameplay. The way I know Luca probably is going to dissect that defense. They're going to have to adjust moving forward. But I think this first one they're going to get, especially if Kyrie gets 20 or more. It's a wrap.
I
It's
was
a wrap.
thinking Mavs by 10, possibly too. I did hear
Yeah.
Shaq say that, but I agreed with Shaq before I
Hmm.
even heard him say it. He thinks that it's going to be Mavs by 10 tonight.
Yeah.
Now, we just saw how, again, the first game against the Cleveland Cavaliers and Boston Celtics played out. Boston won by 25 points. Do you think
Yeah.
that that's going to be a sweep? What are your predictions?
Man, for that, man, I really believe they're at least gonna get one. Because
Okay.
Mitchell's gonna come through with another 50-point game. Even though he had a 50-point game and they still lost, they're gonna find a way. I mean, these others have to step up. I see Garland having a better night. I see Strus shooting better, man. Strus really been struggling. So I see Strus and Garland maybe pulling out one at least. But I mean, if you all from the get-go and you all have to start putting persistent pressure on them. Like the Timberwolves are doing the Nuggets, persistent pressure. You can't let them get comfortable. Can't let them get
Facts.
in their spots. You know what I mean? I recommend having D White picking up Garland full court. Don't let him get comfortable
Yeah.
because he's
No.
not experienced in the playoffs. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to see through these bright lights, man. It's hard, man, hearing that noise in the background. It's hard hearing these analysts talk bad about you when you ain't doing too well. So
Okay. I'm thinking that the Cavs are definitely going to get swept.
Yeah.
Um, Now, I say that with confidence because it's my team. More
Mm.
often than not, I try to be a little bit more objective. But nah, it's my team, so I think they're going to sweep them. And if they don't, I'm just going to be upset about it,
Right.
as I usually am. But what
Y'all get
about
to
the
in your feelings, man.
Pacers and the Knicks? Who you get in the next game? Because I don't want us to go. We already know what our predictions are for
Right,
the
right,
series,
right.
but let's see who's going to win next game.
Yo, so Mitchell Robinson is out for the Knicks in this next one. So because he's out, I'm actually going to give it to the Pacers. But I see the Knicks taking this. I say 4-2. I say
Okay.
4-2. Yeah.
Okay. I think that the Knicks are going to win the next game. I think that they don't really need Mitchell Robinson out there because who's the other center? I can't remember his name. It's actually kind of a funny name.
You talking about wait, you talking about Andy, I don't know, Hardenstein.
Hardenstein.
Hardenstein, yeah.
Hardenstein is actually a pretty good backup. They
Yeah.
play similar roles. They're not there for the mid range, the elbow jumper, hook shot, even the 3 point. They're there to
Yeah,
grab rebounds and kick out to the best shooter on the court. I
that's
think
true.
that that's all they need. I don't feel as though the Pacers are really keeping up as well as I thought they would,
Yeah.
as far as in the paint is
Mm.
concerned. Miles Turner is playing it out, turning it up outside, but I think that they should actually take the next game. They're still going to be playing at home
Yeah,
in the Garden. So I feel as though they're going to have the fans behind them to rally them to the next win. So
that's
we'll
true.
see how that plays out. But most importantly, Wolves and Nuggets. It's game
Bulls
three.
and
This is almost a
I
win
mean,
or
bro,
go
I mean,
home.
they took their heart. I mean, we've never think about it, man. We've never seen Murray act like that ever. We've never seen Jokic this tired. This dude looks exhausted. He looks like he was about to faint out there. It looked like somebody was going to have to catch him. But think about it, Jokic doesn't have a backup. Like who's coming in for Jokic and taking his role or his sounds?
No,
Like nobody's coming in. So Jokic, we're talking about extended minutes that he's doing. And remember, they're pressuring him. As soon as if he gets the ball, if he checks the ball and brings it down court, they're pressuring him full court.
yep,
They're not letting him dribble. They're attacking the ball every time he puts it down.
yep.
So, man, I mean, it's like this, man, like they took their heart last game. Now I see them, of course, coming out with punches, but just like Ant-Man said, we're gonna punch back. You know what I mean? So they know the recipe already. The Timberwolves know the recipe. So
Well,
man,
you got the Wolves winning the next one too.
man, I want them to. I want them too bad. But I feel like the Nuggets, man, are going to corral. They do have that championship mentality. Um, man, they just got that aura about them, man. Even though I saw their hearts taken, I think they're going to corral and give their all this next game. And but I think the Timberwolves are going to take the fourth one. I think it's going to be 4-1, but the Nuggets going to take this next one.
Yeah, I want Denver to come up with some pride.
Hmm.
You can't be the reigning champions and get knocked out in a sweep.
I can't, man.
So
Not like that.
not like that. And the coach in the post game, they were asking him what he's going to do. And I think he said something along the lines of, don't quote me, but I'm glad that we're having a little bit of time off to kind of refocus on who we
Hmm.
are as a team and what we really
Hmm.
want. But you notice he didn't really say anything that says, are we going to make adjustments? It wasn't anything about adjustments. He was talking
No.
about heart.
Hard.
If he's not
Pushing
seeing
through.
heart out there,
Yeah.
Denver pride is going to be on the line in game
Yeah.
three. If they can't do that, they may as well just start packing their bags to Cancun. So
Automatic. Automatic. But at the same time, man, I mean, you see Murray too, because he acted out. I think he probably is gonna feel bad about that because he went all out of character.
yeah,
So with that display, you saw how frustrated he was. We've never seen him that frustrated. So I think that may affect his confidence moving forward. Not
yeah,
sure, but I don't know.
we'll see.
We'll see,
Well,
man.
that
We'll see.
game is coming up soon, along with the other predictions. But I
Yeah.
actually think, Tyson, that we probably got through everything that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
Did
man.
I
I think
miss
we're good.
anything?
Nah, I think we straight, man. I think we're good. I think we're gonna talk about the Magic and Cavs, but we passed that series already.
Oh, that's nice.
Um, I think that was good, man. By the way, we gotta go back to the Cavs, man. We did get our predictions wrong because we thought the Magic were
Magic, we're
actually
going
going
to
to
make it.
we're gonna make it, but I thought Suggs was gonna do better, man. This dude was 2 for 13 out there,
It was
man, in
it
the
was
closeout game.
it would have been a better matchup had the Magic played the Celtics.
Yeah,
But I guess they just couldn't pull it out. So at this point, we
wasn't
just
for
deal with
them.
who's ahead of us.
Yeah,
And in
yeah.
this case, let me get the broom next time. When you see a broom in the background,
Sweep
this
it up.
Boston studio behind me, you know exactly what's
Right
happening. All right.
there, right there.
I think that
Cool,
does it
cool.
for this episode of the Clutch Buckets podcast.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
Kyle Spence again. This is
Josh Tyson.
Be out. We'll see you next time. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. We want to hear your thoughts on what we talked about today.
Bet that we out of here.
Take it
Till next
easy.
time.
Peace.